Okay. Hey friends, I've been talking about ChatGPT and generative AI for some time, and there's a series that is going on LinkedIn. So in this episode, this is actually third installation or third episode, and while first two episodes have been on text and mostly like article type of format, but this episode is going to be a video. I want to show you live examples of how things work, especially wearing different types of hats. If I'm a recruiter, if I'm a software developer, or if I'm a student, right? I'm trying to do my day-to-day stuff, but then how ChatGPT or AI LLMs can revolutionize the way you are actually looking at things. So, without wasting much time, let me jump straight into it. I will quickly show you what I'm going to basically do. So what you see here is essentially ChatGPT's interface. Okay, once you go to openai.com and use your Gmail ID or any other email ID and create your ID. Once you create an ID, at times you have some wait time, but eventually you'll get this in 1 or 2 days, sometimes right after you register yourself. And here is the interface. It's open interface where you could actually get started and do a lot of experiments, but I think this gets interesting as as you actually spend more and more time. So to start with, I will wear a hat of a recruiter. Okay, and I'm looking through a lot of resumes, and I'm going to basically ask. I'm spending a lot of time, going through resumes, and in a day I can only do so much. But the inflow is much higher. I probably have 10 positions to close, but then I have like say 200, 300 resumes, and my day is not enough. And how do I use GPT for that? So as simple as this. So I have an example resume. Peter Parker is a Spider-Man applied for a job, and all I'm going to do here is just go and copy here, paste, and just say what are right top skills and um, experience of below CV. Right? I just paste everything. It takes till whatever it can, and then start saying Peter Parker has 21 years of experience in service delivery and operations, cloud, SRE infrastructure, and has worked in various different technologies and geographies in US, UK, APAC. And it gives me a list of 11 different points. Okay. And then finally summarize saying that this person also earned, a CCNA and a few other certifications, and basically it's a quick summary of a 3 or 4 page resume. It's still now very, very useful for me. So I'm going to say, can you summarize this precisely in um, 3 to 5 bullet points, right? And don't worry about most of the times, like I have typos, spelling mistakes, but it doesn't matter, right? It's pretty smart to work on that. Now, gave me just exactly 5 bullet points. It says Peter Parker is a seasoned techno-functional leader with 21 years of experience. That's good. He has delivered 1,000+ public cloud deployments for Salesforce and global customers, and achieved over 40% effort reduction through automation initiatives. That's awesome. And signature strengths include technical management in leadership, IT, infrastructure, service delivery, stuff like that. There's a fourth bullet is about certifications, and fifth bullet is about the management and technical roles at companies like Salesforce, Microsoft, ABC, and blah blah blah. This is like more useful. So I could say what type of roles can fit right this job seeker. So I want to refine this a little more just to see I have 10 different job roles, but I just want to make sure where this person kind of hits. This is not right. Basically, this is a super technical function manager, but this is basically giving me completely a different output. So I just said stop regenerating it. Okay. Now it's basically talking about some more information, but then this is not good. it basically talks about more like content writing and those areas. So I think this example kind of talks about where it really excels and where sometimes it starts losing context. So up to here, I think we did really great. 3 to 5 bullet points. I think this really helps us kind of go through this whole information, and it kind of like helps you. Just all I did just copy paste, and then we are good to go, right? At the same time, if you want to actually input even a LinkedIn CV, for example, let's see if it does. Please summarize a profile of this LinkedIn profile, right? I'll give mine. Um, as always, my spelling is so it's basically LinkedIn .com/in/Srigadi, and let's see, it goes to internet. I'm sorry, as an AI model, I cannot access external links on LinkedIn without permission. It is not ethical to summarize. But then I have a workaround for you. If you guys have Edge browser, if you don't, I think you should get one. And through Edge browser, you can actually access Bing Chat. So I'll show you quickly, and this will actually revolutionize the way. Bing.com. It is actually powered by Bing. See the ChatGPT, but this can access internet. But here you got three different modes, like more creative, balanced, and precise. I'm going for more like a balanced, and I'm going to basically ask summarize uh, this profile on LinkedIn for me, right? So linkedin.com/am/Sri. Let's see what does it come up with. Again, if as a recruiter, I go through like hundreds and hundreds of LinkedIn profiles, and then most of the time it's kind of a time consuming to go through everything. So looks like this got something. It says she got a VP in ThreatWorks, global technology leader with 20 years of experience, blah blah blah. And it says he believes in enabling business and critical. So I think it's kind of a quick summary. I'm going to say, can you make it precise? The 3 bullet points to help me make a hiring decision, right? Let's see what it comes up with. Okay, one is my experience. Second, the customer he believes in. I think the same thing. It creating different things. So I'll basically ask, did he author any book? So again, I'm not saying does this profile talks about any books. I'm not giving any context. The context was on the top. I'm basically now doing a conversation, and then it's up to Bing to go back and actually check the earlier context, right? Let's see where it comes. And this is live, it's all, and this is changing, improving as we speak. But let's see what does it come up with. Yay! Look at this. So Sri Gade is a book author of Turbocharge Your Career Step-by-Step Guide for building stellar career. It equips you with the step-by-step process to build a remarkable career, and shares valuable insights into having a peaceful, fun-filled experience and fun-filled career journey with value. So I hope this helps. Yeah, perfect. So it basically looked up Amazon. It actually basically looks at my website and poti.com, and um, where can I buy this book? Let's see. Again, this is coming from ChatGPT powered backend, but the front end is the Bing search. So you could use in combination if you need an internet access and live profile search, go to Bing Chat. But if you need anything else, you can go to ChatGPT, which is OpenAI portal directly. Okay. It basically says Amazon India and Pothys.com. It's also available on Flipkart, but it doesn't show it. But I think Amazon is good. So that's it. So switching back, I'm now changing my hat as a student, right? So say in seventh standard, maybe I'm looking at to write an essay on say Roman civilization. So I've come home. In general, what I do, I use my textbook or do some research on internet. Very, very time consuming. So here I'm going to say exactly what my teacher asked me to do. Summarize Roman civilization in exactly, I don't need to say exactly, it is always exact, 1,000 words. And yeah, so you will basically have exact 1,000 words and nice bullet points and everything. So you can actually use how with the empire started, the Roman society, the Roman law, all the important information is right there, and like it's just like a well thought through format and everything else. And just in case if you want to summarize it to any other way, the amount of time it's you basically save by going through 10, 20, 30 different websites and summarizing it just to do this in one thing. So this is precisely like in 1,000 words. But if you want to do it in how about in 1,000 characters, right? So 1,000 characters is much lower than 1,000 words. Let's see. It basically made a nice, precise. There you go. A few seconds, and you got like a civilization, one of the most influential in history, originated in 8th century and BCE, and lasted until 5th century BCE, close to 3 centuries, right there. So this is what I do as a student. But then you can do a lot more things. You can actually copy paste your objective type questions which you are not able to get answers to. So it actually basically solves it for you. This is for essays or I'm a student, but I would like to learn a programming language. Okay. So I love Python, but I don't know anything about Python. So let's talk about I am a seventh grade grade student and need help with learning Python. So I didn't tell anything. It says automatically, I think it pulls out Python as a programming language. And it basically says, hey, um, Python is a useful skill for many opportunities in the future, but here are some steps you can take. Okay. But it's all text, right? It's not very useful. Basically says choosing the right resources, install Python, practice coding, join the community. Like it's all text, it's all good, but that's not helping me. So like, tell me precise the way do I start and how I how do I move forward on my laptop. Again, this goes back to the prompt engineering. So you got to tell exactly what you want. So now this thing knows that you got a laptop and you're really serious about it, and you are actually looking for some straightforward instructions. Now it basically says, install Python, go to www.python.com, choose an IDE, development, environment to write your Python code. There are multiple, by the way, like a VS Code and other stuff. Learn the basics, practice coding, blah blah blah. So if I go back here and say, great, I have explain point number one in detail so that I can set up Python on my laptop. Right. So now I'm going more deeper, asking like exactly tell me what to do. So download the Python, it just says, and then how to download, click the download button on the Python website, scroll down, file section, take it. And then how do you verify the installation? How do you actually install your IDE, right? And how do you actually start coding, right? Now this is slightly more useful. Now I can actually do something about it. I can install since I don't know anything about the programming. I go here, I set up my IDE, and then probably start with my first program. So I basically say, hey, it's all good. Um, help me with my first program, right? So who writes first program? Again, do not worry about the typos. It takes care of everything. Sure, I'd be happy to help you with the first Python program. What do you want your program to do? To collect name, age of my classmates and print, maybe. That's it. So now it actually is actually giving you the code. So now you see the whole code. It's a terminal interface that you can actually see. The whole code is actually coming in. The beauty of ChatGPT is that it gives you code, but it also gives you a excellent explanation on how that the code is all about. So and also with commenting, right? Ask user for the input. So this is basically input, and then you have a variable called num underscore classmates, collecting the input and actually storing it there. And then you are actually creating a list so that you can have multiple inputs and everything is kind of stored. And use a loop so that you can actually keep asking these questions in a loop. And once the loop is done, and here again in the loop you have name, age, variables. So take the input and actually put it there. And then the last one is actually to print. So you basically print the entire the classmates list, and you basically have a list. And it kind of explains you, right? Open the text editor notepad and like a text or atom, Sublime text or atom, and copy and paste this code. So you basically have a copy the code option right here, code copied, and you go paste there and save the file with the .py extension. Okay, again, this is for like ground zero, like folks who have no prior programming language experiences. And then open the terminal and then navigate to the directory and put it there. Once you're there and basically type Python, considering your interpreter is already functioning and it's added to the path. So Python space classmates.py, it kind of starts executing, and that's how you go, right? So this is, and then then you can actually go iteration. What I've done in multiple times, it did not work the way the ChatGPT is saying, but then I just copied pasted the text of the error message, and then it automatically figures out saying, hey, looks like this particular line in the code is incorrect, so go change it or update it. So this is about learning it, and then you can say, "Help me write a game." Again, I'm not telling you write a game in Python. It knows we are already talking about Python, and then basically says, "I can help you with it." What type of game would you like to create? I like the Dino game of Chrome, right? So or Google, right? So Google Dino, Dino. Yeah, let's see. Um, this is a game you basically see whenever we go out of like internet is disconnected, and then you actually it helps a lot of people actually kill time. So it talks about I think it needs both HTML and CSS and stuff like that, but steps to create. But I need code, right? So I don't want to say I need code, not the text. So there you go. So it has the entire couple of libraries that we need, which we need to import, like which is Pygame and random, and then it's actually generating the code as we speak, and like you can see the how it is actually defining the overall the game window dimensions. It's also talking about the ground speed and height. It's talking about the cactus that comes, right? It's width and height, and then the bird, which is the dino or sometimes a bird, like depending upon what image you want to actually give. But that's a dino image. It actually picks it up, which you have to upload later in a particular directory, and it picks it up from there. You can just put the PNG, and then you're good to go. So this is the whole code, and again, right? It's a very basic one. Most times it works, but in sometimes some cases, like I feel like I got a lot of errors. Sometimes it also depends upon the size of the image that you actually input and stuff like that. But think about it, right? In the earlier world, if you want to learn Python, you actually go to Udemy or somewhere else, like go through a 40 video, uh, the series, and at 10th or 11th video, you start losing interest because it's just endless lectures and very little hands-on. Here, you basically start with the not hello world, but actually start with some useful program and then actually start iterating, and it gives you any code that you want, and it actually helps you not just code but also debug. Okay, so that's about a student who is actually trying to be a programmer and learn some programming languages. But that's about it. Now I'm actually becoming a enthusiast. For example, somebody who's actually trying to buy a new car. But I switched to Bing now because I need to do some research on it. In general, if I want to buy a good SUV in India, right now where I am, I need to go to YouTube or watch endless 30-minute, 40-minute videos multiple times because there's no single place which gives me comparison of all the SUVs that are there, very neutral. So I could here basically say compare top three SUVs in India. Now, again, right, this is the data coming from internet, but then it's just that amount of time that it saves in going through the different websites and putting stuff together. It's just mind blowing. So it basically says Tata Nexon, Tata Punch, Kia Sonet, and hope this helps. It's very simple, right? But then I'm going to refine this saying that share detailed technical specs with side by side comparison in a table. Let's look at this, what happens. Now, I expect it to create as, oh, sorry, but I can't generate tables in the chat. However, I can provide you a detailed technical separate. You would like to know, I need a text-based table, right? So it is used to actually give me text-based tables. It's not like a real graphical ones, but I think it's just an indentation where you can actually click. Yeah, see now it's doing it. So this is how you prompt it. Honestly speaking, now you see this comparison is a lot more useful. So you are looking at all the specifications on the left side, and then Tata Nexon, Tata Punch. It's talking about three-cylinder. What is the engine displacement comparison? The max power. Tata Nexon has a lot more power than Punch, obviously because they are in a different categories. And then look at this. Just to get this table, we probably spend hours of research on the internet, and it's not happy. It basically going through cardeco.com and the Zig wheels and 91 wheels and everything. Again, this is coming from ChatGPT, but then powered by Bing. So the engine is GPT, but then Bing connecting with the internet and giving you all the summary. The amount of time you stay here is just mind blowing. Just one more before we close here. Compare top two engineering colleges in India, again side by side. Um, please ignore typos. I stopped looking at them like decades ago, but at least I wanted to know what I'm typing side by side in a text table. So I said top two. Maybe I can say top three. Say compare top, maybe top five, and see what happens. Let's start over. Did it already get tired? Let's see. And there's a lot of work. Each website has a different way of looking at things. So sometimes it's not easy, but that's what it says, right? So top five engineering colleges. Okay, that's good. But it just gives me the college list. Please share same list with 3 to 5 attributes on why they are top five. Right. So it got this data from College Dunia and careers360.com. This is pretty neat, but yeah, no, it did the same thing again. It doesn't tell me why they are top five. Okay, again, sometimes, oh yeah, it basically tells me parameters such as perception, outreach, inclusivity, academic excellence, research, and graduation outcome. Okay, so I was expecting more like a table, but I think this will do, right? And to actually start with. So these are the examples of how you could, as a recruiter, as a student, as a developer, you can do like a what stuff you could do. So one is the LLM. So there are two parts to it. One is the large language model like GPT or Bing that we are using. This for the generic usage. But if you're a hardcore developer, then you have your development, your coding companion called GitHub Copilot. Okay, if you're a GitHub user and you're using VS Code as your IDE, then you have a plugin. You basically it actually costs about $19 a user, but then there's also a free version of the trial, so you could actually go use it. And so that basically, as you code, start actually code. I know you're an experienced, assuming that you're a very experienced coder, it actually takes you a lot of takes away a lot of effort. In some cases, up to 80% effort is actually reduced, which means that earlier we used to do a lot of research and get the code from somewhere, or even actually handcraft it. and there is a structure to it, right? There's a security aspects of it. There is a architecture aspect. So this Copilot is literally your Copilot. You write a comment and actually it fills up all your code for you, and then you're actually good to go, right? So this is again, it's all Microsoft stuff. So ChatGPT and the OpenAI is pretty much invested by Microsoft. But then you have something called Code Whisperer by AWS. It's also equally good. Now Google has come out in their most recent Bard. It's called CodeGen, part of Vertex AI, or you could say Cody. There are multiple different names going around, but it's also actually slightly better than coding by yourself. So as we move ahead, if you're looking at it, these LLMs and this codex, so-called code companions, are actually making your life actually totally taking to a totally different level. Okay. One final example that I would like to share is in case if you want to, uh, an employee and write, a strategy. So, for example, I'm a program manager. I would like to do a strategy for my company, which is a SaaS product company. So, I'm going to basically give all the prompts saying that. So, build a marketing strategy for a 1 billion revenue pharma company, let's say something new and interesting, company based in Australia, right? In order to double revenues. Now we are talking about strategy, okay, and we are not talking about any particular letter or any simple thing. This is actually C-suite level or a VP level kind of stuff. But again, like let's see what it does. Okay, so it basically gives you different target audiences, analyze the competition, develop unique value proposition. So close to monitor and evaluate close to 9 different this thing. But here again, this is very generic. So I want to make it more precise. Say, can you make it more precise and action oriented with examples and outcome, right? Let's see what it does. Okay. So this basically is talking about a develop customer approach, and here it basically talks about conduct market research to identify, create customer-based personas, and outcome is increased engagement. So this is a lot more useful because it tells you what to do and actually why it is actually also important. So now you see the importance of prompt engineering is that I think this is what we need to get good at. We need to know what to ask. It's very fundamental, right? For if you want to get just like you have a genie in front of you and genie is asking, certain wishes, and if you don't know what to ask for, you might end up wasting them. This is exactly what's happening here. All right. So with this theme, just to summarize that this LLMs and Codex now they will also start powering many other tools like Google yesterday announced it's actually now it's powering their Word, Excel, a PowerPoint presentation and everything else. And Microsoft also announced it a month ago is that earlier you probably spent 30 minutes to maybe or 1 hour, sometimes few days to actually build a 10 slide presentation that makes sense. Now all you have to do is just tell it and it actually creates a presentation which actually 90% there. But these are direct applications. But then now a lot of websites, a lot of startups are being powered by AI, the LLM AI. It's much different than the traditional AI, which means that earlier if I go to a portal called like wix.com or anything, it takes me like in a day or two to actually build a simple website. Now I can just go to Durable and ask it like within 5 minutes I can have a fully functional e-commerce website up and running. What is more important is in Wix earlier, it gives you a website, but then all the content you have to do it. But here, Durable asks me if you are 3 or 4 questions, and then I basically just go and it actually gives you content which you don't have to double type, including strategy, vision, and content for your co-founders. This is just out of the world. And in short, what's going to happen in the future is, as you can see, when we started using calculators, we stopped remembering the multiplications and additions. We always use calculators. When we started having spell checks in Word or any kind of different tools, you stop, just like me, remembering the spellings because you never have to, right? So as you go with these LLMs coming in, this you don't have to know programming, you don't have to know how to actually write the good letters, all that. Now, only two things that you'll actually remember is that it's not the memory that matters, it is your creativity that matters going forward. It right. So it's not the your ability to remember things is that is valued or will actually create an edge for you. It is the your ability to create something brand new in your mind and conceive it and actually feed it to these guys, and they will actually build it for you. Okay, it's a creation and not the memory anymore. And I think as long as we know this distinction, I think you will be able to succeed. So I wish and all the best for all of you. Just go and play with these tools, and don't worry about job losses. Don't worry about AI taking over. I'm not actually cover more about the singularity and the path of no return in the next fourth edition. But in this edition, you stay focused on how do you actually stay ahead of your competition. If you're a company CEO, or stay ahead of your colleagues and your friends. If you're an employee, and your classmates if you're a student. And I think that's what is important. More you learn, more you practice, I think more it gets better. So wish you all the best, and I'll see you in the next video and article.